Hey, what's happening? Full body, everything. Light dumbbells, heavier dumbbells. Here we go. Starting out, I always start out with shoulders. I don't know why. My favorite body part, I tend to start out with those. The traditional, the standard, side lateral, the palms down. You see how these palms are down? They have to be down. I see people do it this way, and I wonder what they're doing, because you need to accentuate those delts. Those palms have to be facing the floor, as I'm doing right now. You know, these are light dumbbells, but they're kind of heavy for this particular movement, which isn't an easy one to do in a strict fashion. And I'm trying to carry that down nice and slow. Hit that spot right there, hit that spot, and hit that spot. Side lateral, we'll go right to a flat dumbbell press, where I'm going to flip with my heavier, my 40s. I'm going to get down in position so I can flip them and drive them up. Drive them up. Again, you don't need a bench necessarily. And after a while, you're going to find out you may prefer the floor. I don't waste time from one exercise to the next. I go pretty quickly. As soon as I'm through with one, right to the other. With at least 3 consecutive exercises, that's what you want to do. Let's get 3 more for time. I like the high rep scheme, so you go to 12 or 15. I just want to get through this video in a decent amount of time. And we're back up. And we'll go right to a bicep curl, but a very special bicep curl. This bicep curl involves the forearms in this way. Turn, turn back, lower the weight in a hammer curl manner. Curl in the traditional way, back down this way. It involves the forearms and the biceps, and you want that nice tie-in, forearms and biceps. And you'll get it with this exercise. That way you don't have to do 2-3 exercises for a small body part like biceps. You don't want to waste all that time. And this is to do before you leave the house. And again, I have the heavier pair of dumbbells and the lighter pair of dumbbells, the 25s and the 40s. I've got my yoga mat and I'm set. I don't have to go to the gym. I do it right here. Always keep those knees bent, which I kind of failed to do while you're doing these curls. See how that turn? Let's do one more with each for time. And I like to go outward with the curl. Instead of in here, I'm out here and I'm turning and I'm lowering the weight. All right, we knocked out shoulders, chest, biceps. We'll go on. Okay, let's go to one of my favorite back movements, right? Really accentuate the lats. One arm, they call it a tripod row. I call it a dumbbell row. That's what we used to call it back in the 80s. I'm locked in 1985. I lean on this leg for stability. I have my elbow nice and tucked to my inside. You can even change this up with the angle. You go from the inside and pull a little bit, just for a little variation. But for this one, I'm just going straight up. 2 more for time. And 2. And again, you gotta lower that weight nice and slow. Otherwise you lose half of the movement. The better part of the movement is the lowering of the weight, what they used to call the negative part of the movement. What's good for one arm is good for the other. See this lean right here? Gives you good stability. See my low back? I'm nice and bent. So I have a lot of flexibility there in the hips. Pull, pull. Accentuate that lowering of the weight. Control it all the way down. Nice, 5 more for time. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yes, there's your dumbbell row. All right, let's continue. Let's continue with a little shrug movement. I'll give you a variation on the normal shrug movement, the one I like to do the best. Heavy dumbbells, 40s. Heavy for me at this point. Pinning those shoulders to the ears, but I'm more bent with the elbows than most. I see people do it this way. You don't get enough movement, in my mind, doing it that way. You gotta bend, and you gotta have some movement. And you gotta carry down that weight, the dumbbells, very slowly. And think traps, 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 as that nice muscle connecting the deltoids there up top. Nice. And down, 4 more for time. 2, 3, and 4. That's a dumbbell shrug with a little variation. Instead of the straight arms, bend the elbows just a bit. And let's go from there. Now we'll go over to triceps. A little tricky because the triceps get worked and all your pressing movements, your chest, your shoulders, they get worked. They don't need that much work. Sometimes people overtrain those triceps. You'll lose that meatiness, that good feeling that you have if you overdo it. So don't do that. But again, I'm going to flip these. I'm going to go flat on the back because to me, this is the best tricep exercise. Starting out here in a hammer position, straight up. Lying tricep extension, I like to go way back and extend. Way back with a stretch and extend. Really feel the back of the arms, especially the stretch and then hitting the top of the movement. And I do like full range of motion. Once in a while I'll play with half reps, and it can be beneficial sometimes, but really your meat and potatoes are the full range of motion exercises, and that's exactly what I'm doing right now. Sometimes I'll curl those legs up there. Really try to concentrate on those triceps. Again, it's not a press, it's an extension. With the dumbbells in a hammer curl position, a hammer position. 2 more for time. Big stretch, big squeeze on top. And there's your tricep extension right there. And I want to go right to a calf movement. Stability. This is something that you do in a makeshift way when you don't have much equipment. And again, you want to do something in the morning on that empty stomach that I always talk about before you have breakfast. This is the weight training workout when you have about 20, 30 minutes to spend for balance. Up on those toes and back down. If you think you can't grow on a simple workout like this, you're wrong. You can make good progress if either you increase your intensity by going quickly between sets, or you increase the weight, you increase your repetitions. Many ways to increase the intensity if that's what you want to do. So I'm getting way up on my calves and I'm back down. If you had a block of wood right here, it would work a little bit better because then you could lower your heels lower than the top part of your foot, but I don't have that luxury right now. So I'm going straight up while holding the dumbbell for a little added resistance. And I want to go to 15 reps on this. But I'm faking it because I want to get going with time. But you go to 15, 20 repetitions on this calf raise. And again, you take a very short rest between sets, if any. I like to go from one exercise to the next. No rest whatsoever. And that way, you can get cardio benefit and you get your resistance training all in one. The key is to get it done in the morning so you can't second guess yourself. Also, keep it simple. Keep it simple. The guys that I run across that have the worst time of it are the ones that get so complicated with their training that they're just so stressed out about doing it right. Stick to basics and you're ahead of the game. Okay, we'll continue that shift to the lower body. We'll get the squats done now, very simply, as easy as you possibly can. Hold it in this way. Nice clamped hands here. Get a nice shoulder width position and you're down. And I like to hold the bottom for a 2 count. I like to get nice and deep. Don't worry about the depth of your squat. That's what you want. You want to be down this low and back up top. You really activate the glutes and the hams and the quads this way. Way down. And my focus is always forward and I'm pushing from the heels. Always forward, pushing from the, notice the pause on the bottom that I take deep. Just like that. Again, I'm getting cardio benefit from this quick workout. No doubt about it. My heart rate's up. I'm breathing pretty heavily. Nice way down. Feel it, and back up. How about 3 more for time? I know it looks a little strange when I get down there and hold it, but that's the key. I like to hold it. That one I did. Last one. Nice. And that's your squat. And I can't tell you how much I don't like putting the barbell on the shoulders. As you get a little bit older, it gets really rough. Squatting in the traditional way with the barbell on the shoulders, I really don't go for that. I would prefer if you held the dumbbell in hand the way I just did and proceed that way. And again, all you need for this workout in particular are the heavier dumbbells and the lighter dumbbells. In my case, I have the 25s and I have the 40s. Does me pretty well. Hamstring deadlift, right? I do them 2 ways, stiff legs or slightly bent. Today I'm going to do the stiff-legged version of the ham deadlift. I like this underhand grip. Down and back up. Nice big stretch in the hammies. Back up with a nice little shrug. Squeeze. Nice big stretch. Squeeze the glutes up top. Even when I hit the bottom of these, I'm still holding it for a count or 2. Down. My head's still up. My back's still straight. Stretching those hamstrings. Big squeeze on top. Squeezing those glutes on top. 5 more. Way down. And back up top. 4 more. Way down. Big stretch, big stretch. You actually stretch a little further each repetition. You get a little more stretched out. Feel it. And back top. And back top. Last one. Way down there. And back top. Now you may think that I use a little bit too strict of form. You can never be too strict because I'll tell you, this is all about shaping the muscle and really focusing on muscle groups while you're training. But don't think those other ancillary muscle groups don't come into play while you're doing a movement. Your back's always involved in shoulder movements, your chest involved with the shoulder movements, so on and so forth. So you can't really isolate like they've been telling you all these years. But you can be strict with your form. Subscribe to my channel if you would. I appreciate it. I made a resolution. I'm going to be doing some more exercise videos like the one you're just seeing, outside and inside, in the gym, so on and so forth. Subscribe, like the video, comment down below. I appreciate it. See you next time.